Hello and welcome back to How's the Race. This episode is the post-race beer review. We're going to be, I guess I am going to be discussing the Monumental Marathon in Indianapolis, Indiana, 2025. This is one of my races I repeat year after year. I really enjoyed the race, and I've enjoyed seeing how it has developed over the years. The Going through the race, just a brief overview of the entire race. I'm not going to get too in depth on everything. It's a shorter episode overall. There'll be a more in depth dive later on. But this race, it's in typically it's in early November. This year is November 8th. It was the race is fairly large, probably around 15,000 participants if I had to guess. The expo takes place at the Indianapolis Convention Center or Indiana Convention Center, downtown Indianapolis. Fairly large expo. It has grown over the years to be really large. I'd probably have to say 80,000 square foot, probably. Just off the top of my head, I'm really not sure, but it is very, very large now, very well organized, very well laid out. There's your packet pickup. There's runner services, of course, information booth, pacer booth, several other booths right there right away. As soon as you enter the main expo, go through an area where there's merch for sale. A lot of the Monumental series merch is for sale: jackets, hats, shirts, probably gloves as well. I didn't really see them, but I wouldn't be surprised. And then the main expo area itself that has all the different vendors and other races displayed, other races featured out there. I remember seeing Hilly Half, which is down in Brown County State Park, southern Indiana, not central, a little south of Indianapolis, outside of Bloomington, by about 40 minutes. It's between Bloomington and Interstate 65. That race was there. Derby, Marathon, they were there. I remember seeing, I want to say Air Force was there. Pig was there, of course, out of Cincinnati. And several other races were there. Go through, Expos there. Great. Get your packet and everything. They did offer same day packet pickup. If you had prepaid for that, you could get same day packet pickup. The race itself, it is moved. It used to start in front of the State House. Now it starts on West Street, just on the back side of the State House, if you will. The State House, the State House does face east, and it's on Capitol Drive, I believe, Capitol Avenue. But on the back side of it, of the block and everything of Senate, is West Street. It goes down. The race starts down on West Street. Really, a much better area. There's a lot of space for all the runners to walk and mill and get to their correct corrals. A large amount of porta potties, just almost a ridiculous amount of porta potties, which was very, very nice to see. Very nice to be there for. Race starts out. It goes by Indianapolis Indians Stadium. The Victory Field is the name of that. That's where the AAA affiliate for the Pittsburgh Pirates play. It goes down there. Goes on the west side to the south side of Lucas Oil Stadium. Goes across and down. Comes back up. You're coming up. I don't know the name of that street, but you could see the field house, Gamebridge Field House, I believe it's called now. That's where the Pacers and the Fever play. I don't know how many games the Fever play there, but since Caitlin Clark came into town last year, they started moving the games over to that stadium arena instead of where the Fever used to play. Then it runs around different parts of downtown. It comes out. It goes back on the north side of the the arena, the field house. Then it goes to the Circle Center Monument. It's the Soldiers and Sailors Monument. Soldier and Sailor Monument. It's really unique. When I remember I was in Buffalo, they have a monument up there to a war monument, a soldiers and sailor, a veterans monument up there, and the people there knew our monument and said that the two were. There's some unique feature about the two, like they're the only two in the U.S. for some category. I don't want to misquote things, especially monuments like that. Uh, but either how, it's I want to say 328 feet tall. It's a really nice monument. Either way, go around that. Then you come back on the north side there, and you cut across. You go past. There's surprise, more monuments. You pass through downtown. You get out of downtown-ish area. You go to Mass Avenue, which is a nice little nightlife area. Nightlife on the weekends at night. During the daytime, there's nice shopping. There's different cafes and bistros and pizzerias and restaurants. There's a Bottle Works district up there, which is there's a hotel as well, where the Coca-Cola bottling facility used to be. They turned it into a hotel space, and just a common area downstairs or nearby that has to do with. There's several restaurants that like share a common area. Like there's the restaurant itself, but as far as the seating, it's all like a common seating. I can't. When I was in Philadelphia, they had a similar type setup, much larger, but a similar setup. I forget what the name of that was, so that's a bad reference. But if you've been to Philly, you probably know what I'm talking about, where there's lots of restaurants and then just everybody just shares the same seating space. Either way, race goes out of there. You can start hitting the neighborhoods. Well, it comes back down towards downtown, and then it turns up north, and then you go up north towards the neighborhoods, and that's when it's really nice because you have all the locals coming out and supporting you, and they have different they're cheering outside their house, and they might have bonfires or whatever, and they have boom boxes going and people dressed up in different costumes, and it's a really nice atmosphere, really nice pick me up. Go through there, you get to mile 7.5, I believe, and that's where the half and the full split off, and that full goes towards, well, they go straight. It's on the right hand side of the road, the road, and then half makes a left, and then we kind of fish around a little bit through some more neighborhoods. Really nice. There's a little bit of a hill right there. When you're going towards the hill, that's really the only uphill for the entire race to speak of, and it's not even that significant of an uphill. It's just enough that as you're looking at it, you can see that it's uphill. It's probably a 70, maybe 80 feet gain over a course of a few blocks. So you're going out to the furthest point from the course at that for the half, about mile 9. Yeah, that's mile 9, maybe mile 8. Yeah, you complete mile 8, and then you're at the furthest point. You're coming back, and you hit mile 9. At that point, there's a lot less homes that you're really running by. It seems like you're kind of in I don't even know. There's a high school, I believe, in that area. There's a couple other schools. I remember there's a high school playing. They had a jazz band out front playing music. That was cool. You come back in. You hit mile 10. Mile 10, you're starting to get back with the marathon, which is really. It's really neat. There's cones set up there because they don't want the two, I don't want to say interacting, but mixing it up, because the marathoners at that point, I was a 3-hour pacer today, and with the wave start and everything else, I saw the 3-hour marathon pass me, And then I seen all the way back to, I believe, the 3:35 marathon group passed me. The 3 hour passed me very early on when we got mixed up, well, not merged, but beside each other. And then as we kept going, then eventually the 3:35, I believe it was, passed me. Maybe the 3:30, I forget. And that was closer to the finish line. And they're coming in at 7-minute miles or so. So we're doing 13-minute miles. They're doing 7-minute miles. It's not safe for the two of us to really be mixed together at that point. It just doesn't make sense. So it's logical why they have us separated with there's some cones and such. The aid stations, they're plentiful. The porta potty situation, it was really nice this year. I didn't notice any lines for the porta potties on the course. Mile 6, I did notice a few people, but however, there's a lot more. Mile 6 tends to have a lot more supporters, and I think I saw supporters getting in line for the porta potties. I don't really know. I didn't pay too much attention, but it looked like they might have been, which I understand. I mean, I don't know about each individual in line. I'm sure some of them let the marathoners or half marathoners cut in front of them. I'm sure they did, but I can't, testify either way. But then you come in, you come downtown. The stretch from 10 to 12, or 10 to 12, it's a long straight line, kind of a false flat downhill, which is nice. You come in and you finally hit downtown and you make a right, a left, and a right. When you make that right, you're going in between some really tall buildings. So depending on which way the wind's blowing, you might or might not get a lot of breeze there. But then you make that left, and now you're in front of the Capitol building, and that's where Charity Row, or I forget what different races call it, but that's where a lot of the local running clubs and such have their tents set up and everything. So that's pretty cool. You come in, and at that point you have just over a quarter mile to go when you see those running clubs. Probably closer to over a quarter mile. And you mix it up a little bit. You come in, and you can start seeing, if you look over to his right, you can start seeing the finish line peeping through the trees, and the crowds are growing and everything else. And especially at the 3 hour time, there's still a lot of supporters out there, and you're seeing the Boston qualifiers passing you, which is it's really nice to see those people and how efficient and fast they're running. And I mean, they're just impressive. But at the same time, I don't want to dishearten anybody else, because I was speaking to a gentleman today, and he ran a 2:31, and he was extremely modest about it. Nobody really cares about your time, to be honest. We just care about the medals. The medal, by the way, so the race finished, across the finish line. On the way to the finish line, that little finisher chute, probably high-fived about a good 90 to 100 people. Petted one dog. That was really cool. It was like a long-haired Dachshund, I think. I don't know. I didn't ask, but I think it was a long-haired Dachshund. Either way, I got to pet the dog. Can I pet that dog? So, sorry. Not sorry. The medal this year, so you cross the finish line, stop your watch, get your medal. The medal this year, years past they were always square. This year it's circular, and it looks like a very wide letter I, maybe. I don't know how to explain it, that part particularly, but there's the down part of the skyline, and it looks like it's along the canal. Indianapolis has they have a failed canal. Well, they started building the canal, and before they completed the canal, the trains started coming in, so they just stopped the canal. And it's a really weird situation, but they have a canal. It was just never really used as a canal, to my knowledge. But the canal is there, and it's tree lined, and it's a really nice medal, kind of weighty. And then the ribbon is red for the half, it's blue for the full, it's green for the 5K. The full metal, I believe. Yeah, the full metal is more of a bronze, whereas the half metal is more of a silver. I guess you'd say gold, but it's not shiny like. Let's be honest, it's not real gold. Not even plated, but that doesn't really matter. But it's more of a bronze or gold, whereas um, the maybe it's a pewter for the half. But either way, that gives you an idea of what the color scheme is. The finishing area is really nice. The gear check is right there at the far end of the finishing area. They give you a shopping bag, a reusable shopping bag at the beginning of the area so that you can put your water and such in there. They did have a water station that had a refillable things on the side so that you could refill your water bottle after the race and have some water as you walk around. I don't remember. Yes, they did have Death Water. They gave us Death Water cans in the finishing chute, but they also had this trailer that had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Had 6 little refillable areas so that you could refill your water bottle. I thought that was nice. I took advantage of that. Refilled it, and then when I got back to my car, I have Tailwind chocolate recovery mix. It's supposed to, like, I don't know what it's supposed to taste like, but I thought it was supposed to taste like chocolate milk or something like that, and it was okay. Would I buy it twice? Probably not, but that's just my personal preference. I don't know. Spend your own money and figure out how you want to live your life. But got back to the car, took my friends back to the airport, dropped them off, went to Sun King Brewery, and enjoyed a few bevies. So overall, really great race. I look forward to doing it next year. The race will be November 7th, 2026, Saturday, November 7th. So go ahead and put that on your calendar and go ahead and try to make that out there. It's going to be a great time, great event. So I'm going to go ahead and enjoy some food and a shower and some bevies, both adult and non-adult bevies. Just go out there, enjoy your day, run the race the year in, and remember that Ford is a pace.